All rise for the Honorable Judge Carroll. In the matter of Timothy Ferguson versus Sasha Rule and Jamal Brown, case number 7 of 2024. I swear by Almighty God.
I swear by Almighty God.
That the evidence I shall give.
That the evidence I shall give.
Touching and concerning this matter.
Touching and concerning this matter.
Between both parties.
Between both parties.
Shall be the truth.
Shall be the truth.
The whole truth.
The whole truth.
And nothing but the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
All right, son, money. Mom, take the Bible. I want you to repeat after me. I swear by Almighty God.
I swear by Almighty God.
That the evidence I shall give.
That the evidence I shall give.
Touching and concerning this matter.
Touching and concerning this matter.
Shall be the truth.
Shall be the truth.
The whole truth.
The whole truth.
And nothing but the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
All right, Mom. So.
Thank you. You two can stand over there for me. So you can stand at the podium over there. Thank you.
Timothy Ferguson, a boat owner, is suing Sasha Roll and Jamal Brown for repairs done on a boat in the amount of $2,700. Sasha Roll and Jamal Brown say they are not aware of Mr. Ferguson's claim and have no knowledge of the boat he refers to.
Yes. Give me your full name, please, sir.
Morning. My name is Timothy Ferguson.
Okay. And you are bringing this case? You're the plaintiff?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And can I have your name, please, ma'am?
Sasha Roll.
Okay. And you are?
Jamal Brown.
All right. Mr. Ferguson, tell me about your case, please.
I think it's only fair that I start with John. He is no longer with us, but I was in business with John Brown for about 3 to 5 years.
When you say in business, you all were partners or something?
No, we were not partners. I actually owned a boating yard, and he would bring his boat to me for repairs. Now,
so what business are you in?
I'm in the business of repairs.
Okay. Boat repairs in particular?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
Now, I've been working with him on and off for between 3 and 5 years. Or I should say he's been bringing his boat to me to be repaired for that length of time. And generally, we've had a pretty good working relationship. He's generally paid on time. There are a few times when he wasn't able to, but I have always been able to contact him. I've always been able to reach him, and we've been able to sort things out.
Okay.
Now, recently, he brought his boat to me, and I let him know up front the last time he brought it to me, hey, I have taken a look at the boat. The repairs this time are going to be a bit more extensive. I had to do a complete engine overhaul for him. Essentially, this wasn't just regular maintenance, so I actually had to remove the engine, put it up on the block, and change the bearings, change filters. It was everything.
Right, okay.
Right. He let me know at the time that it was no problem. So I said, okay, I went along with it. And
did you get a deposit from him or anything like that?
No, I did not get a deposit for John for this.
Okay, how come you didn't get a deposit?
Well, generally, I do. There are times when I don't, because like I said before, he hasn't always been able to pay me up front, but I've always been able to contact him.
So you took his boat. It had all this extensive work. About how long did you have the boat?
At the time, I had the boat for about 3 weeks.
I see. Did you complete the work?
The work was completed, yes.
Okay, and how much was your bill for the completed work?
The bill for the completed work came up to $2,700.
Okay. $2,700?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And so then you contacted John to ask him for the money?
I attempted to contact John.
Right.
And I got no response, which was highly unusual. Like I said before, generally I've always been able to get a hold of him, even if he hasn't been able to pay me immediately.
Okay. Do you know where he lives or anything like that? I mean, you took his boat, you did this $2,700 worth of work, you got no deposit, and now you're trying to find him. Okay, so did you ever get the money? I'm guessing you didn't get the money because you're here today.
I did not.
Right. So you never found John.
We did in fact find John. As it turns out, John is deceased,
Okay,
which
you
is a
found
part
him.
of the issue.
You didn't find him. You found out he was dead. You didn't
Yes.
find him. Okay. All right. When did you find that out?
I found that out maybe about 5 days after I initially tried to contact him
Okay.
to let him know that the repairs were done.
So we've had the story now about John, who turns out to be dead. But why do you have Miss Roll and Jamal Brown in court today?
Well, the first time that I met John, he actually came in to talk to me about getting repairs done for his boat. Miss Sasha Roll was actually with him.
Okay.
When
But I mean, why is she here? So
Right.
you've met her before.
I have met her
Because she came
before.
with John.
and it was my understanding that they were business partners. That was how he presented
okay.
it,
How
and that is what I understood. She never refuted it at the time. So, of course, assuming that they are in fact business partners.
Because you have an understanding that she is his business partner, that's why you brought her to court for this $2,700.
Yes, ma'am.
I see. Okay, I think that's enough of that story. Ms. Roll, what do you have to say?
Your Honor, John and I are not, in fact, business partners. We owned a boat together, and that's it. I run J&S Tour Company, and John was responsible for the repairs.
The JNS was John and Sasha? Or
Actually,
Sasha
it's
and Jamal?
Jamal and Sasha.
Okay, and Jamal, how are you connected in this matter?
Well, my fiance here owned a business. We actually
Meaning
owned
Sasha?
Sasha, yes.
Okay.
We owned the whole business of tours and adventures, JNS.
Sorry, let me get hold on. So J&S Tour Company,
Tours and
Tours and
Adventures.
adventures.
Tours and Adventures, is owned by,
Jamal and Sasha.
okay, J&S Tours and Adventures.
Yes.
Okay. So what does this have to, and you and John owned the boat
We owned one of the boats together initially.
that are run by J&S Tours and Adventures?
Yes.
I see.
So
okay.
we bought a boat together, but over a period of time, I paid him out for his half.
I
So
see.
the boat was now completely owned by J&S Tours and Adventures.
Right.
And he was just responsible for the repairs. Whenever there were repairs, he would do them himself, and whatever he couldn't do, he would outsource.
Coming up on Justice with Judge Carroll.
You did this work on this 21-foot fishing boat called the Longley. You did it for John. Do you have an invoice or anything like that that you issued?
This is both the invoice as well as John's signature, all right, regarding all the repairs that I would have done.
Thank you.
Justice with Judge Carroll is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, and more reliable. Together we are unstoppable. Switch today. To get your case heard, call 242-445-4955 or email us at info@judgecarroll.net.
Justice with Judge Carroll.
And you're aware that John is now deceased?
Yes.
Okay.
Sad thing.
Okay. All right. So what do you have to say about the $2,700 that Timothy Ferguson is claiming for the repairs?
I'm not sure which boat he was working on for John, because our repairs, we have an invoice right here. Our repairs were not for anything to do with the engine.
Okay, so Mr. Ferguson, what boat were you working on? Let me identify, because they apparently have more than one boat. And in any event, I'm sure you were working on more than one boat. So let's settle, let me know what is the name of the boat or the mark, the license or something.
Well, I was working on a 21-foot fishing trawler that was brought to me by
Right,
John.
but I mean, don't boats have numbers or something? I know planes have numbers, cars have numbers.
If you're talking about the serial number?
A number or a name, I mean, I can't just keep talking about the boat.
I understand.
Which boat?
The name of the boat was, the Longley?
The Longley.
Yes.
What a boring name for a boat.
Well, we have no recollection of that boat. The boat that we carried in.
Sorry, one second. And you said it's a 21-foot what?
It's a 21-foot fishing boat.
Fishing, okay.
We have a catamaran, not a fishing boat.
Yes, Mr. Brown?
Brown, yes. Actually, the boat that we gave to John, that he outsourced by Mr. Ferguson, apparently, as far as our recollection, is a 42-foot catamaran, tour boat. And so we have no recollection of this boat here.
You have a 42-foot catamaran?
We do.
That's a big boat.
It's a very big boat, yes.
We have large groups.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a really big boat.
Yes, it's very big.
And a
boat.
catamaran?
Yes.
How long have you had that?
About 3 years.
Roughly.
Okay. So, and what do you say was the problem with that boat?
That one, we had to repair the cleats and rub rail installation. That's the invoice that we did.
It feels to me, I mean, I'm going to need some assistance from you, Mr. Ferguson, because you have brought the case.
Yes.
Right? So you're claiming that you did this work on this 21-foot fishing boat called the Longley. You did it for John. He gave you the boat several weeks ago, and you did all the work. Do you have any evidence of the repairs that you did? Do you have an invoice or anything like that that you issued?
Yes, ma'am.
Because you brought the case, so I need you to satisfy me that the... Sorry, officer, you can get the documents from him for me, please. Let me see what he's got.
So this is both the invoice as well as John's signature, all right, regarding all the repairs that I would have done.
Thank you. Okay, so who is responsible for... But you never actually gave him, the invoice because you couldn't find him.
Well, I couldn't give him, what I gave him was initially the billing for everything that needed to be done. Like I said.
Okay, you gave him a quote.
Right.
Right, and where's the boat now?
The boat now, the last time that I saw the boat, it would have been at my marina, the boating yard.
I don't understand
Your
that.
Honor, about that.
Yes.
So Jamal here had to actually call the police for Mr. Ferguson.
Right.
We usually deal with John. I apologize. So
Right.
I'm not familiar with Mr. Ferguson.
Yes, okay.
But one day John was going out, not John, oh, God rest the dead. Jamal was going out to prepare the boat for the tour. We had a few tours lined up that day.
Okay, which boat
And
again? Because we have two boats.
The same boat, the catamaran. He was going to make sure it was clean and, sanitized for our tours coming in that day, our groups.
Yes.
And he went to look for the boat, and he came and he asked me, where's the boat? So I said, well, it was there when I left work yesterday. So the boat was not on the slip. We called the police and later found out, with the police acting on intelligence, that Mr. Ferguson here removed the boat without our permission from our slip, and he was then arrested.
That is not, that is partially incorrect. I did not move at any point, all right? This 42-foot catamaran that they are talking about, the only boat that I removed from their possession would have been the 21-foot fishing boat, the Longley.
Oh, so you went and you moved the 21-foot, you moved the Longley.
Yes, ma'am.
So where's the Longley now?
That's what I'm saying. The last time that I saw the Longley, it would have been at my slip.
Okay. Do you know about the Longley?
I don't know about the Longley, but I know that our catamaran was missing, and we called
Okay, but
the
he's not
police.
suing you for a catamaran. He's suing you for the work that he did to the Longley.
Yes, but what I'm saying is he confused the boats. So he...
What do you mean he confused the... No. What do you mean he confused the boats?
Because
One is 21 foot and one is 42 feet.
How is he then arrested for stealing our boat?
Well, I'm not here to deal with the arrest, the complaint of the arrest. The police will deal with the complaint of the arrest.
Okay.
He's suing for his $2,700 that he did on a boat that you said that you and John owned at one point.
We owned the catamaran.
Okay. So did you have any interest in terms of the ownership of the Longley?
I don't know about the Longley at all.
Okay. So do you have any, in relation to John's estate, do you have any obligation in terms of the administration of his estate? Who were his survivors?
I'm not sure. I think he does have a wife and one child, but we had already paid him for the work that we had agreed upon, and this is the receipt here where it was paid to John. So what he would usually do when he would get repairs that are beyond him, like I mentioned before, he would outsource.
Right.
And then he would pay from the money we had already given him.
Coming up on Justice with Judge Carroll.
Judge, I just think he is a boat thief. All right? I just
No,
I don't even know what this
listen.
man doing here today. Be quiet.
Mr. Ferguson, if anyone is telling anybody to be quiet in this court, it's me.
Justice with Judge Carroll, brought to you by Shop Smart. Shop early, shop often, shop smart. Love the show and want to sit in on the action? Call 242-445-4955 or email info@judgecarroll.net. Justice with Judge Carroll.
This here is the payment, the proof of payment where we paid John. So anything outside of what he couldn't do, it was his responsibility.
The payment that you paid John for
For the repairs that we agreed upon,
the Longley or for the catamaran?
the catamaran, any of
Okay.
our boats that
Okay,
we
all
already
right.
pay him. We pay him ahead.
Yes.
And whatever he can't cover repair wise, he would outsource to another repairman and then pay based on the money that he was
Let me
given.
ask you this before I go back to you, Mr. Ferguson. Let me ask you this question. Do you know anything of the Longley in terms of where it is or anything like that?
No.
No.
Okay. Do you currently have possession of the catamaran that you talked about?
Since the investigation, no.
What do you mean since the investigation?
Because
Well, the last time we had, Your Honor, sorry. The last time I remember the catamaran being parked or any of the boats that we have owned is being parked in our slip and East Bay, right?
Right.
And Mr. Ferguson here, the information that I understand is that he worked close along with John. I don't know what kind of mix-up they had within the boats, but I know as far as my recollection, he had some dealings with all of the boat repairs that we've done in the extent of whether it's the catamaran or any other boats that we have given John. He was the person who had dealt with John when it came to the maintenance and repairs on our boats.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Ferguson, I think that the challenge that I am having with the case that you have brought is that essentially they're denying outright. When I say they, the defendants, Ms. Roll and Mr. Brown, they're denying outright, firstly, that they owe you any money, and secondly, that they have anything to do with the Longley, with the boat.
Judge, that doesn't make any sense at all. Because like I said, the first
Well, I
time...
mean, I know it doesn't make any sense. You don't have to tell me you know it doesn't make any sense.
I understand.
Because as far as I'm concerned, we're having two It's like two different cases completely. You've brought a case about a $2,700 debt for a 21-foot boat. They're saying that they have a complaint against you that they filed with the police for a 42-foot catamaran. I'm not going to just keep going around in circles, round and around. You didn't even know where John was. As far as you know, I mean, you eventually found out the man was dead, and now you come to bring these two people who are apparently strangers to claim $2,700.
They're not strangers, Judge.
Well, you have not satisfied me, Mr. Ferguson. I am sorry.
Judge,
But
I just
you
think
have-
he is a boat thief, all right? I just
No,
I don't even
no,
know what this
listen.
man doing here today. Be quiet.
Mr. Ferguson, if anyone is telling anybody to be quiet in this court, it's me. And both of you have had opportunities to present your case. This is not a marketplace, and it's not in the street. I don't need people just shouting out. We went through the process with me listening to both sides, recording the evidence, trying to make sense of the evidence so that I could then come to a determination. There's a very basic principle of the law, right? That he who asserts must prove. You bring the case, you prove the case. They don't have to prove your case. They don't have to disprove anything. You have to bring the evidence to prove your case. You've given me invoices that you haven't given to a man who's dead for a boat that nobody seems to know where it is. Therefore, Mr. Ferguson, my decision is that I am not satisfied that you have proved your claim against these two people for $2,700. The order of the course is your case is dismissed. Thank you.
All rise. This matter is now adjourned.
The court has ruled in favor of the defendants, dismissing the case.
I'm just glad it's over, because how do you accept a job and you don't accept a deposit or get the money before you release the thing that you repaired? So then you have to look for people for your money? Makes no sense.
Yeah, I just feel like the guy was just trying to take advantage of my lovely fiance right here, and he probably thought that because John was dead, or the deceased, sorry, that he was going to take advantage of the situation, but not here.
Look, I don't know when we started letting crackheads in the court, but there's no way, all right, that I'm stealing a 42-foot catamaran and they're talking about they can't find their boat. Absolutely not. The only boat that I took, all right, was a 21-foot Longley, which is a fishing boat that John and I had agreed that I was going to do work for him on. Now, I don't know what else is going on with these people, but one way or another, I'm going to get my money. Since the boat is currently, as far as I know, still in my yard, then that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep the boat and I will sell it if I need to make up the cost. But this is ridiculous.
Now, this episode had quite the title and an even more unexpected twist. A boat mechanic came to court demanding payment for work he completed, only to find out the client he was chasing was, well, no longer with us. It may sound wild, but it raises a very real question. What happens to debts when someone passes away? The truth is, just because someone dies doesn't mean all their financial obligations disappear. Today's case was a reminder that when it comes to business, especially with friends, get it in writing and make sure there's a plan in place. Life is unpredictable, and clear agreements help everyone stay afloat. Until next time, stay prepared, stay wise, and I'll see you on Justice with Judge Carroll.